Hello and welcome. Now we are going to be working with features in Evernote in order to collaborate with members of our team and in some cases members of our stakeholders or customers. So in order to do that, we're actually going to use the Evernote business account almost exclusively. Now there are workarounds for all of these things if you choose not to use Evernote for business. However, it'll be ideal in order to use some of the collaboration features that Evernote has and to take advantage of the shared workspace. So to get started, we're actually going to click Open Evernote. And since this is a business account, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to our admin console. And what you'll notice is that there is an area for managing users. So if you don't have your current team members as part of your Evernote account, you want to add them. And so you're going to click Add Users. And what we're going to do is we're going to write their email address in here so that they'll have access to our Evernote business account. You'll see one email address in the dialog box. If you need to invite users in bulk, you can do that at this link. So what we're going to do with our second user is we're going to go ahead and click an invitation. And as a reminder, the individual that will be part of our account will be charged to the account that we are paying for. That individual will not be paying for the account. We will be paying for that individual to use it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to now go to the email address of the other team member. And you're going to notice that this individual has an email in their box that says that they're invited to join their company's Evernote account. We're going to go ahead and click that link just as if we were the team member. So if that individual already has an account, they'll just confirm it through their web browser. They'll be asked to enter their name. And then they'll be asked to give a personal email address. Then that individual, if they have an Evernote account already, they'll already have a personal account that they can access their personal information, and now they'll be using their business account with the email address that they signed up with. And now the individual is now signed up for Evernote Business, and then they'll click into the workspace. Now once the individual is logged in, they'll be able to find any available notes from the team as well as anything that has been published. So now that both individuals are now on Evernote and on the same shared workspace, you are now ready to collaborate. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we're going to give an overview of what the course is going to be about and its direction. Now this course will focus on Evernote as a way of creating a shared team space online to collaborate for ideas and workflow. It assumes that you have one of the paid versions of Evernote. However, there are numerous workarounds for each unique aspect of the course. Now, following the course will help you to use the features of Evernote to communicate with teammates better and to get work done faster. One of its chief benefits is going to be faster answers to team questions. And another benefit is going to be more clear direction on projects before deadlines. Basically, when it comes to collaboration, the course is really designed to show you how to get a team archiving and sharing just enough information to get the job done. Importantly, being able to use Evernote as a shared space means that teams will be able to follow their teammates' progress while the project is actually in motion. It allows for teams to avoid working in silos until the project is already done. And it answers the questions of whether or not a team or an individual is going in the wrong direction long before the end of a project. This means that teams will be able to use Evernote to complete more projects in less time. And whether a team is acting for its own benefit and profit or an organization is acting to serve its base, Evernote can help any team to be more effective with continuous communication and archive processes. Now, this course will help you to achieve this by showing you the technical processes you can undertake to adapt Evernote to meet your team's needs. And with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now, one of the basics in collaboration in Evernote is going to be your notebooks as well as your notes. And what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to share content with individuals inside of your team, but not outside. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new notebook by going to Notebooks, and then we're going to click Create a Notebook. We're going to give that notebook a title, and then we're going to click Create Notebook. Now, as soon as we get this notebook, what we can do is we have some options available. And we can exercise them by sharing the notebook. So we'll go to the menu that says Share, and we'll click Share Notebook. So we open the menu, we have the option of giving our other teammate the capability to edit and invite other people to share the content. What we can also give them is we can give them the opportunity to edit only or to view only. So you can individualize the permissions for everyone who's going to be on your team and how much information that they actually get. Now, the thing about business shared notebooks is that they will remain with the company. So if someone leaves, if they add things to the shared workspace, that information is going to stay with our team rather than go with that individual. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work with the person that already has access to our account, and we're going to give them access, and we're going to allow them to edit and invite other people to look at the notebook. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a message in here, and then we're going to click Send. Now at this point, the other individual can actually only see that notebook inside of a work chat. However, we want to make this notebook public for everyone who is on our team and who will eventually be on our team. And so to do that, we're going to come back to the Share menu. We're going to modify our sharing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to publish this to the company. And we're going to give this some context, and we're going to determine how much use they can have. And so we're going to give people the ability to edit, but not edit and invite. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to click the Publish button. And now that notebook is published. We're going to click Done. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the other individual to see what they're actually going to see. And when the individual logs in, they're going to need to check the business icon here. And then they're going to find all of the shared notebooks, including the one that we just created. And so these notebooks represent a clear separation, that these are going to be the notebooks where we collaborate with our team, and that the other notebooks are going to be worked with by the individual in their own personal life. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now that you have established that you have business notebooks, and those business notebooks will be available to certain individuals on the team on a certain project, what you are going to do is you're going to start collecting information, and you're going to collect that information through notes in the specific notebook pertaining to that project. So, for example, what you will do is you will go to the business notebook setting. You will find the project, and then you will click to add a note. And you'll find that at this plus button here. And you'll notice that note will be inside of the Low Carb Market Ideas project, which is a shared notebook. So we're going to give that note a title. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to write content, you're going to be able to share links, you're going to be able to share images, and any other notes that you have, and it's all going to be inside of the project file. You'll notice that each time that you want to create content, you'll get a WYSIWYG editor for that particular note. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put some content in here. We're going to include some hyperlinks. And then our note is ready to be complete. And so the other individual inside of our group will actually see the very same information inside of their screen. And so what you'll want to do is you'll want to encourage that every time that there is a new, that it comes with at minimum a title. So for example, you want the individual to actually write in their content and to make sure that it is written in to describe what the content is. and then we're going to click Done. Now what we'll want to see is that this information is available to the other team members. And indeed, when we refresh our page and we go back to the notebook, we'll see the newer content. Now, one way to make it easy to collect content and to place it inside of a note, especially when someone is in the web, you can actually use Evernote's Web Clipper. And Web Clipper is actually an app that you can find by going to the address evernote.com/products and Web Clipper. And when you grab the Web Clip, you will then add it to your browser. And then as you see information that you want to add on the web, what you'll do is you'll click this elephant. Then we can decide what we want to clip. We can actually add tags. And then we can always determine that we want this to be in a certain notebook whenever we find ideas. And we can set our default so that it always goes to the same project or notebook. Once we've done that and we click Save, then the process of collecting this web page and placing it inside of our notebook is occurring. Now this note actually went to our personal notebook, so what we're going to do is we're just going to switch this to our shared notebook so that it now becomes part of our running conversation with our team. And that means that other individuals can see it across all of their devices. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello, welcome. Now, there is a strategy to being able to collaborate with the documents that you upload as notes into your notebook. And you want to encourage other members of the team to do the same thing. And there are two things in particular that you want to do. Number one is you want to make sure that each individual idea or action is actually placed inside of a note. So you want to avoid placing multiple items inside of a note. If you have something, you want to name it separately and create a new note for it. The second one is to actually create a table of contents. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to need to use the desktop app to complete this. Now you'll notice that we are inside of our notes view, inside of the notebook that we are working in. If you don't see this view, you are going to need to go to the View command, and you're going to need to open up the Note panel and the Note list. And then you'll see the notes that are associated with the shared notebook. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to click the first, the second and Control, and the third, and you're going to see them all highlighted in blue. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click Create a Table of Contents Note. And what that will do is that will actually give someone the quick links to being able to find the information inside of your notebook. Now you'll want to make sure that either yourself or someone is assigned to do this on a routine basis as content is being uploaded to the notebook. This will keep your collaboration easier within each notebook. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss organization, and we're going to focus on tags. This was discussed in the basic course, and it's something that needs to be standard practice within every notebook. Now, you'll notice here that there are two notes that do not have tags. Now that doesn't mean that this information will not be searchable. It will be. However, you want to make sure that you have tagged appropriately, especially for a specific workflow. So for example, within a notebook, you can take each individual note and you can actually tag it. Now for the tagging strategy to work effectively, you really do need to have followed the other aspects of this course, which is that every individual aspect of content that you are putting inside the notebook, you want to put it inside of one note. And then what that will do is that will find each individual item more findable when you actually do the search. For example, if we were to search these business notes and we were to write in here, alternative to low carb, you'll notice that even though this specific phrase does not appear in the article, nor does it appear in the note, it appears because of the tag, and it's also easy to find because it's within a note. So again, the most important aspect is the entire system. The entire system requires that you put individual items inside of your note, and then that you take each note and that you tag it appropriately. Now, one of the things that you want to do is you want to encourage your team to use tags that have already been done. And so you'll see that there are tags within your dashboard that have been used, and you want to try to reuse the tags because this will be the way that certain individuals will search, and it'll make their search more effective if you can tie all of the activity to things that have already been discussed. When you do this, as you can see here from the team members' search, this makes search a lot easier and more effective over time. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. We're going to talk about sharing documents internally that you don't want to share with the entire company. Now, you may want to share a notebook with certain individuals, but you don't want that individual shared with everyone on your team. If that's the case, you're still going to create a notebook for your team, and you'll create your notebook. And of course, you'll start by creating a note. And what we're going to do is we're going to give this note a title. Now we have our verbiage inside of this document. So what we want to do now is we just want to click Done. And what we want to do is we want to share everything in this notebook with certain individuals. However, we don't want it to be made public. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to share the notebook, and we're going to have that individual inside of what we're going to do is we're just going to make this viewable, and then we're going to write in a message. And what we're going to do then is we're going to click Send. Now in this particular case, if we were to look at this notebook and we were to go to Modify Sharing, what you'll see here is that this notebook has not been published. However, we can show this content and this notebook to individuals that are going to have continuous access to it, and they'll be able to view it. We can actually change this to edit if we want. And so what we've done is we've actually set up a way to have a personal or private conversation with one of the team members without the entire team being involved ahead of time. And there are going to be cases where it would be inappropriate to share certain information with your entire team. And we're then going to click Done. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to talk about ways that you can use the shared interface in order to assign tasks and notes to certain individuals. Now, one of the best ways of being able to do this inside of Evernote is that wherever you have a particular note, when you've had discussion about it, what you can do is you can begin to add tags to the individual's name. So, for example, in this particular case, we might write in Harlan Johnson, who might be one of your team members. And you can do this with any post that you have assigned to this individual. And so what this does is this makes it so that you can actually then make a notebook searchable by writing in the person's name and any of the tags associated with them. Now we can make this process even easier by creating a saved search and then clicking New Saved Search. And we can rename this search any way that we want. And of course, when the other individuals on our team are searching, they're using the name, they'll be able to find it easily with the tag. Now there's one more element in making an assignment to a specific individual. If we have a note in particular and we've already tagged it, one other thing that we can do is we can actually go to this drop-down menu and we can click Reminder. And what we can do is we can add a specific date. By adding a specific date, what we're doing is we're making the individual responsible and tagged for something that's going to happen on a specific day. What we're going to do is we're going to give it a date, and you'll notice that this note now has a reminder date of 1/17. Now we can choose to receive an email on the day that it's due, but if we're not the one that is actually being assigned to the task, doing that would be optional. So those are the ways in which you can use Evernote within a shared notebook in order to assign someone to the specific content of that note. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.